So Mono Black has been a deck that has been good for a while, and today we are taking it into the arena and seeing what Sheoldred and Invasion of Fiora does for this particular color and color set in Standard right now. Let's take a look at the deck. We have a lot of the old stuff. I am not a millionaire, so I am going to be playing a lot of the old stuff in conjunction with the new stuff. As you can see, we have the Sheoldreds, we have the Phyrexian Obliterator, we have new Sheoldred. I'm going to have to start saying Sheoldred the Apocalypse, or maybe just Apocalypse. Maybe we're just calling this Apocalypse. I'm not sure how we're going to be denoting this, but we got to distinguish that between actual Sheoldred without her bodysuit, and she is probably even stronger without that bodysuit. This one's a little bit slower than this one for sure, because generally you could get this off pretty rapidly. But let's take a look at this in conjunction with the new cards. Of course, we're using Evolve Sleeper, great tempo play early on, able to grow, and get into the opponent's face very rapidly. We're going with a Gift of Completion, mostly because I'm just playing around with this card, and it is an uncommon, so I don't mind crafting them and trying them out in the arena. Incubate 3 when it enters battlefield, and whenever a Phyrexian you control dies, Surveil 1. And we have enough Phyrexians to make that worth it with the Grafted Butcher, the Yawgmoth Praetor, the Phyrexian Obliterator, Sheoldred the Apocalypse, and Sheoldred. Oh, and to boot, Phyrexian Fleshgorger, which generally gets played right here, so it makes the mana curve on this a little bit easier. Do I have too many 5-drops in here? Probably. Do I have too few removals? Probably. But the sideboard handles those problems just fine. We've got some cut downs, we got some Sheoldred's Edicts, we got the Stone Brain, which is that big brain play whenever you go into game 2 and there's that one card you can't beat and you throw it down and you exile all of the copies of that. That's the big brain play, and we're doing that. A couple of Duresses in case the opponent has a lot of control elements to their deck. We could discard those, and then there's just sitting ducks for us. And if we feel like we're not getting advantage in the mid game, we could always do Phyrexian Arena, teamed up with Sheoldred the Apocalypse in that sideboard. Yeah. Now let's take a look at these new cards a little bit closer outside of Gift of Completion, which we have already spoken about. We have the Grafted Butcher. The Grafted Butcher. He's not gifted, but he is grafted. When he enters the battlefield, the Phyrexians you control gain Menace. Maybe we're getting that final damage off with that Menace ability. And to boot, other Phyrexians you control get +1/+1. That makes Sheoldred bigger. That makes the Phyrexian Obliterator bigger. That makes the Phyrexian Fleshgorger a little bit bigger if you're trying to make the opponent take more damage to get this off of the field. Then you can sacrifice an artifact or a creature, return this from graveyard to the battlefield, activate only as a sorcery. I wish that would happen as an instant, but happening as a sorcery is just fine. We do have some things that we would want to get off of the board on our side, and I'm really thinking about Gift of Completion. If it's late game, get him out, and then you might be able to get that damage off to end the game. Moving on. On our 3-drops, we got very typical stuff that is not new, but if you're interested, we got Yawgmoth Praetor and Graveyard Trespasser, and possibly even Phyrexian Fleshgorger if we get him early game as a tempo play, but he could also be played over on the 7 spot. But very likely we're playing him over here. This is more of a tempo build than it is going to be a late mid-range, well, very late game deck, right? So we don't mind dropping him for 3, especially if we're drawing cards with Gix. In that 4 spot, again, we have very typical stuff, Sheoldred the Apocalypse and Phyrexian Obliterator. This mono red hates this card, so I don't mind running it. Gix's command adds a little bit of control to what we're doing outside of the go for throats in the starting 60 cards that we are using. 2 1/1 counters and lifelink. If we're running low on life, this is really great. Destroy creatures with power 2 or less, return up to 2 creature cards from graveyard to your hand, or each opponent sacrifices the creature with the highest power among creatures they control. This becomes kind of an effective board wipe, or allows you to do some shenanigans. It's a very diverse card, and really hard not to run this card because of its diversity. And then we are running the good old Sheoldred. Just Sheoldred, nothing more. But Menace 4/5, not like I'm probably not going to be using this as a bludgeoning tool for the opponent. This is probably going to be a flip tool. We want to flip this and get our creatures out of the graveyard onto the battlefield. There is going to be a lot of creatures dying in these matches, and being able to flip that Sheoldred and get those back out onto the battlefield is broken. It's really good. I don't know if you caught my last video, but when we were playing a control build and we just built out our board state against mono black, and we just went to town. We had fun. And we're going to be doing this with our own creatures this time. In the true scriptures, I love the backside of Sheoldred, and if you can pull it off, it is phenomenal. Problem is, it does cost 10 mana to get her out onto the battlefield and then flip it. But when she enters the battlefield, she's still good. Not great, but good. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature or planeswalker. So enters the battlefield, you kill something from the opponent. It's almost like she costs 3, and then you have like a Sheoldred's Edict on top of it. It's pretty nice. And then you flip it, you destroy another creature, then each opponent discards 3 cards, mills 3 cards, and then you flip it, you get all of the creatures. Right? It is creatures, right? Yeah, it is. Put all of the creatures from the graveyard, all graveyards, to the battlefield under your control. Could you imagine this as a commander? Yeah, this would be a fantastic commander. You're playing 5 people, you throw a Shilly out, you find, I don't know, mono black would have much of a way of protecting her, but let's just say you can flip her immediately. Gee whiz, that would be scoops from most people, unless you have a white player who's going to play a board wipe. Yep, that's the deck. Oh, wait, there is one more card. Invasion of Fiora. You could, and I love this because it actually distinguishes legendary creatures and non-legendary creatures. It is a mono white board wipe, which, if you have legendary creatures out, you just opt to destroy all non-legendary creatures, and you destroy all their creatures and you keep all yours. Or if you have all non-legendary creatures and your opponent has all legendary creatures, you do the opposite and you destroy all legendary creatures or non-legendary creatures. And you know what I mean. You know what I'm getting at. Then when you flip it, I'm not playing this to really flip it, so we'll talk about it anyway. Menace and Death Touch. And whenever attacks, remove all counters from up to 1 target permanent. This kills planeswalkers. As crazy as that seems, you could kill a planeswalker every time this attacks. You don't even have to make contact, right? Whenever this card attacks, remove all counters from up to 1 target permanent. That is phenomenal. We're hoping to get that card draw with the Gix, and we have the backup plan of the Phyrexian Arenas down here, and we also have the sort of backup plan with the Invoke Despairs here. I think this is going to do well in Standard. I'm still not completely sold on the Grafted Butcher, but we are going to get into the matches. We are going to see how it does. We are going to see if we could get some wins with mono black. Thank you for joining today. Make sure that you've liked the video and subscribed to the channel. This channel is growing phenomenally, and it is thanks to all of you guys out there and all of your wonderful support. So let's get into it. One mana special. Well, we have a 47% chance to draw land, but no, we ain't doing that. We can't be that kind of player, right? This is a good hand. I like this quite a bit. Hopefully, we are going to be able to get some creatures with Sheoldred. We have some graveyard shenanigans in this deck built in, but great. So, Grafted Butcher, but he is playing mono black, so we're probably getting all of our stuff removed, and we're gonna have to wait for a Sheoldred the Apocalypse. Nope, he's not mono black. He has a Jungle Hollow, so still got a lot of black. We're gonna get Fleshgorger out now, and if he removes them up to 5, I mean, that's just what we're gonna have to deal with, my dudes. Like that's how it's gonna have to go. But we got to get through his removal. We don't have any real ways of interacting with his removal. Sheoldred, or Phyrexian Fleshgorger. The argument to be made for both, because Phyrexian Obliterator is going to get damage off, but Sheoldred's a better control piece. We're going to do this. He wants to get stuff into the bin, and we want him to get stuff into the bin. Once that hits 8, it turns on our Sheoldred. Or I should say it triggers our Sheoldred. Gala Greeters. Very interesting. Why Gala Greeters, though? Ah, Glisa. Oh, aren't you a dirty, dirty girl? Yeah. We got to take care of that right now. But thing is, do we do it on opponent's turn? Whenever it deals combat damage to a player. So we have some time. We're just going to chill. He's down to 2 cards. He's going to be drawing some cards, so he's going to be taking damage from the Shelly. We want to kill that Glisa. Maybe he tries to sneak in a bigger attack than what he's capable of because he's got the Glisa. I'm not saying that he's going to make that big of a mistake, but it is possible, and we always try to amplify the opponent's mistakes. Gix's command. Oh wait, let's see what he puts the counters on. It's probably going to be on the Glisa. Well, we're hoping it's the Glisa. Again, opponent being smart here. Kill that now. Yeah, you'll get your damage off this turn there, dude. You are up to 7 cards in the bin. We Phyrexian Obliterator. And we let him continue to dump cards into the bin. I would not mind a Glisa Sunslayer on my side of the field. Now, we don't have... Oh, wait, we would have a lot of stuff from our side. So Sheoldred would pop off pretty heavily, pretty hard. We're at 17 health. We got plenty of health. If he does not remove the Phyrexian Obliterator, I'm going to guess that he does not have it.
You will grow with us.
There it is.
Welcome, my companion.
We're still swinging with the Obliterator. And we're probably targeting the Nisa. Mana. Go after Nisa. He does block it. Really? I thought he would just let Nisa go down to 1. So 6 damage. So 6 permanents. Of course the treasure goes away. Does the treasure and then land go away? Is that what he's going to do? Okay, so all land goes away. Now we try to push the opponent over. Now, he's got a pretty full graveyard. We will be taking some damage next turn. And we got to get real lucky on these draws. Opponent is still winning this one. Take it. Sheoldred. Uh-huh. Kill that. And then we barely survive. I have to destroy that. We need a little bit of top drawing luck here in today's Magic the Gathering Arena. Oh. No, he just straight wins. Okay, cool. Yep, good game, opponent. I always forget what Nisa does. We want Duress. This is the beauty of best of 3, guys. I'm telling you, it is a beautiful thing. If you could just try something crazy, and if it doesn't work, just jump right into a control build and try to limit your opponent that way. Oh man, the mana curve is so flat with this deck. It's crazy. 3.5. Let's try to reduce the craziness of the curve on this. No, we definitely want that Invoke Despair. We want the Invoke Despair to try to hit the Nisa. We want Sheoldred's Edict to hit that Nisa as well. We also want the Duresses to discard the Nisa. If we get rid of Nisa in this deck, I think we win. And we're going to opt to play first. I think we could mess with this hand. I think we could screw with it. We got the Go for Throat. We try to take out early plays, and then we always draw what we need, right? Sheoldred the Apocalypse is a fantastic draw for us. Gala Greeters, I am opting to let that pass, and we'll go on. What else you got? Old Ruststein probably coming down now. Nope, tapped land. No Old Ruststein yet. I'm going to come in for a happy one. We'll allow that to happen and move to my turn. Probably got the removal for this. Okay, not so far. We're probably safe to swing with Sheoldred. We have another Apocalypse in hand, so I wouldn't feel like we're losing there at all. We could also opt to, well, it depends on what he does. Like if we swing with Sheoldred the Apocalypse and he blocks, then we don't need the Sheoldred to get the Gala Greeters into the bin. We could also invoke Despair, and I think we're opting to do that with Tenacious Underdog coming onto the battlefield. He's going to be creating treasures with this, though. We don't like that. We don't like that at all. Swing. There we go. Does he chomp? He does opt to chomp. That's fine. Nope. And then Duress to the face. Gix's Command, or... Okay. Gix's Command is such a good card. We're going to get rid of that instead of the Fertilid's Favor. You guys need to come up with easier names for cards. Like card 1, card 2, card 3. I would appreciate that. And there we go. He's going to get some life here. We're going to lose some life here. But kind of a weak Gix's Command. How many cards you got down there? 4. This is 5. This is not removal. So basically what we're doing is we're turning off this card, basically. I mean, he could search for a land with it, but who cares? That's 5 in the bin. Nice big sip of coffee as we get roped down here. Takenuma. Oh, beautiful. You're a beautiful man. Oh, you're beautiful. You are absolutely gorgeous. We could flip this now and kill the Liberator. We do know his full hand, and there isn't a whole lot that we can't deal with. So we're going to go ahead and flip this Sheoldred now. Even if he gets... Like, Nisa would be a very brutal draw for us, because he would be able to kill the True Scriptures. But then we could just invoke Despair in response to that. Yeah, he's going to have to play the Sheoldred here. Like, well, yeah, I mean, playing the Sheoldred is probably his smartest move, without knowing that I have Invoke Despair and Go for Throat in hand, because he's got to discard 3 next turn anyway, and throwing it into the bin is kind of a soft play. We will get an Outland Obliterator. That's exactly what he opts to do. So we are going to... Should I just take the damage? Yeah, I'll take 2. We draw Gix's command. Okay. Okay, discard everything. Now, invoke Despair to your face. Just beautiful when things work out, isn't it? Got land drop for turn and everything. Did you draw the Nisa? That's going to be the only thing that really hurts me. He gets a Tenacious Underdog off. Okay. Swings. You know, we just keep tempo up. Sheoldred is about to come back with an army. Oh, my word. Which one's mine? I think this one's mine. So I keep this one. Now, this is the opponent's graveyard. We're doing Graveyard Trespasser, and the opponent scoops it up. Oh, that is brilliant. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Haha. Again. Not a whole lot of plays, but never going to be mana screwed on this. Takenuma as well. Oh, this is hard. This is round 3 as well. Kind of want a free mulligan here because this is kind of like right on the edge of being keepable. But I think we mull. Ah, man, 2 mana. It's always going to get you somehow, right? Okay, we could keep this. If we draw land, we're fine. 44% chance, so decent enough chance. Let's go ahead and target him. Nothing. We whiffed. Well, he's got a Scrapgorgers, the Graveyard Trespasser, I apologize about that, and a Gala Greeters. Also, a couple of lands. We're not looking good in this one. Scrapgorger, and we probably want to go ahead and kill that now, right? Because he's got the 1 land here. Could kill this now. I don't want him digging into my bin, so I think we do that. He's still going to have the other Scrapgorger, which probably enters right now, or does Graveyard Trespasser come in? It's a Scrapgorger. Okay. Gix, Yawgmoth Praetor. Probably playing the Trespasser here. I would highly consider it. Go for Throat is stronger, though, because you kill the thing. You kill the threat. And we don't have any real ways to kill threats in our hand anymore. That mulligan probably hurt us. You know, but you got to mulligan sometimes to try to get something a little bit better. And sometimes you get something more lukewarm. We still got some effect with the cards. Duress straight up missed. His board state is not great, though. He's got the Trespasser, though. But Sheoldred could hold up back that Trespasser really well. Phyrexian Obliterator is also a good choice there. That's the thing. In the 4 drop spot, Phyrexian Obliterator and Sheoldred the Apocalypse are both great choices. Sheoldred's a great... There's so many great late game cards for black. It's incredible. Trespasser enters the battlefield. Getting rid of the Gix, of course, as one does. And First Blood. Draws land. You know, when I said I wanted to draw land, I didn't mean all of the land. We'll swing. right? I mean, he can't kill the Sheoldred with what he has on field. Maybe a trick in hand, but getting that damage off into a Phyrexian Obliterator seems very strong indeed. And the opponent is making sure to keep the graveyard empty. But nice little control side that we've built up. The Graveyard Trespasser is going to give us some trouble. Going to be hard to get rid of it, but we have a swamp to discard to it. We do probably want to get the Scrapgorger off of the battlefield a little bit more than the Graveyard Trespasser. Oh, okay. Tough choice. I think we keep Obliterator. This is going to make it truly difficult for him to be aggressive. And he's being very aggressive right now. There's another one. Now, if we swing into him and he double blocks with the Graveyard Trespasser and Graveyard Trespasser, we kill one of the Trespassers and he has to get rid of 6. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then he's left with a Graveyard Trespasser and a Gala Greeters. So swinging is actually not a bad idea. Especially whenever we draw a Sheoldred's Edict. Let's swing and see what he does. I'm just curious. He does not block. Down to 9. Non-token creature. Gala Greeters probably goes away. No. Trespasser. Really? Maybe he needs a treasure from the Gala Greeters to cast something that's not in the colors that he is. No, because he's going green on those. Tyrannics kills us. Nisa. Oh, Nisa.
Phyrexia is the end of evolution.
All right. All right. It's not the best card we want to see right now. 6, 7 damage. Down to 12. We get an Invoke Despair. Great, great draw for us. And we're going to leave the Phyrexian Obliterator up to try to defend a little bit. Gala Greeters finally goes away into another Invoke Despair. Yeah. Not the new cards that are winning, but the old school, old class mono black in standard. I love it. No. No. What a great draw from the opponent. He's going to have to pass here, though. Because if he swings with this, he just loses everything and nothing else really gets through. He's going to swing. No cards in hand? What are you doing, opponent? The madman. The madman. Yeah, we're going to opt the block like this, of course. Oh. Yeah, sacrifice 8. What are you doing? My guy. Oh, my word. What a madman here. I love it. He got his mana drop for turn. Oh, dude. I love it. Come on in. We will take the action. And play the Fleshgorger. I don't see any way out for the opponent now. The madman did madman things. Oh, I love it. Oh, maybe that was a soft scoop. Maybe that was a soft scoop. But hilariously so. I love it. I appreciate you. Fogly? Viogly? Figogly? I appreciate you no matter what your name is. I do appreciate you. Thank you so much for playing around with me. And whenever your sideboard is better than your main board, sometimes it is best to just switch things up a bit. So that's what we're going to do right now. Before we jump into any more matches, we're going to add some of these. Sometimes I try out some of the new cards, and then they don't quite go as planned. But these are still good sideboard pieces, so we're going to put them over here. And the deck that I build right now, this is the one that's going into the description below. What else? Oh, yeah, we definitely want Duress, right? Duress is so good. It's so good. Okay. And we'll go down one of these. Actually, go down two of these. These are nice sideboard pieces, just in case the opponent is playing, you know, things that we need to get rid of quickly. And probably one of these as well. Actually, yeah. We're going to do it like this. This is a little bit better on the mana curve as well. It allows us to play quicker and more efficiently. And then we got sideboard pieces to kind of spot in over time. Yep, I like this a little bit better. New cards, guys, new cards. So we're going to be messing around with stuff quite a bit. Oh, and we definitely want better sleeves, right? Yeah, we want better sleeves. Bam. Looks great. Let's go back into it. Yuck. Oh, yuck again. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Is it going to be one of those matches? We change it all up to try to be a little bit more consistent, and then this happens. 1 mana into 2. I think we keep 2 mana hands, and we throw the Sheoldred away for now. We'll find Sheoldred again. And here we go. Swamp for turn. Pass back to the opponent. Mountain. Okay. You probably have a 1 mana play. It always happens. Every time I face like mono red, we have like the worst possible hand for it. And we do have the Phyrexian Fleshgorger, which I really like. We do have a Sheoldred's Edict that could help us out against mono red. But I want to get this rolling to get that incubator token out there. That's a 3/3, which is pretty good. Play with fire. Yep. We're playing with standard mono red. The rarity that we see you in best of 3, and always I have a garbage hand. Yeah. Oh, goody. Goody. Now, the question is do I want to hold up Sheoldred's Edict and slow the game down a little bit, and have that incubator token ready to roll? Yeah, I think so, because this is going to pump one of his guys, and he's going to be relying on that to get damage off. So we hold Sheoldred's Edict up. Yep. For 1 mana. Interesting. Before he can respond, sacrifice a non-token creature. And we draw land. Just draw what you need. Into Sheoldred the Apocalypse. He kept 1 mana hand? Jeez. Mono red players. Oh, haha. 1 mana hands. I love it. You guys are amazing. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Sheoldred can go away. And we're just going to go cut down Duress, Evolve Sleeper. Phyrexian Fleshgorger is going to be really good here, and so is Sheoldred the Apocalypse. And, of course, you got your Invoke Despairs for the final round 5, if we ever get to that. We have a little bit of control early on. We do have only 2 lands, but we have a good chance to draw lands. All we have to do is make sure that this is hitting things. And then turn 4, Phyrexian Obliterator just completely turns him off. If we can draw the swamps. We did not draw a swamp that turn. So we evolved a sleeper here. Pass back. Did you keep a 1 land hand again? He did not. Learned your lesson, huh? Okay. Digging. He's got to play with fire. He's also got the Stoke the Flames. And that card's not going to be able to be played. 4 damage to any target is good. We could go for the throat here. We could also evolve our sleeper. I don't think we're evolving our sleeper. I don't think we're blocking with our sleeper, so we're swinging. One more land, and we got 2 turns to draw that one land, so we're looking pretty good when it comes to Invoke Despair. Or, I mean, Phyrexian Obliterator. That's fine. Let's wait. Perfect. What's next? Swings. Well, we go for the throat. Dead. Cut down is also fantastic. That's our 3rd land. And we just pass. Mono red players. I'm telling you. 3 mountains now. 4 damage to another target battle or an opponent. Okay. Obliterator. How about that? What do you think about Phyrexian Obliterator? Oh. Oh, very nice. Up to... Okay, 4 damage to another target battle, and then 1 damage to up to 1 creature. Let's drop Gix. And purple. Swing in. Yeah, get that damage off. We still have a cut down in hand. And now we have a Trespasser. Trespasser's not... It might help us get some life back. Invasion of Regatha. Interesting card. Okay. Very nice. Nahari's Warcrafting. Gets the 5 damage off on it. It looks at top X, where X is excess damage. And that's 2. Put 1 into your hand, right? That would make sense. Look at the top cards of your library, where X is damage dealt this way. You may exile 1 of those cards. Okay, exile and plays. Gotcha. Down to 7. Thing is with these battles is things like Kamano faces Kakazan. If they're going to keep going with battles, I would expect a lot more in the way of support for those cards. We could swing. We still have cut down open. Down to 5. Manas. Never miss a land drop. Lightning strike to the face. Down to 4. What's your last card? Was ist das? Really? Oh man, mono red. That's the 2nd game in a row that somebody did something really quirky there. We're gonna draw cards. And what cards they are. -1 though. Can't win a game with -1 health. Wow, that's like the 2nd game in a row that somebody killed themselves on Phyrexian Obliterator. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Content is there now. Wow. And we're going to talk through this match a little bit on the exterior. This is from the future. We are recording this, and this guy was a massive roper, so we did not want to sit there and sit through that. I value your guys' time, and I do value my own time as well, which is why we are doing it this way. If you notice, he is using the Mech Titan cores. He's trying to get that going, but he's roping the entire way down. Not much to say about this first game, except for the deck didn't do a whole lot. He is in full meme mode, and he is a roping just like a full meme player would typically do. Again, first round, not much going on. He scoops it away here in just a moment. Right. And we, of course, want to put our control pieces in it. We take out the go for the throats, and we add in some other pieces because we know for a fact that he's playing all artifacts. Therefore, go for the throat isn't going to hit anything. And we, of course, lead out with a swamp. We pass back to the opponent. He goes with the Thrasher again, and we get rid of one of his planeswalkers there. Comes in, does his damage, and getting the Phyrexian Obliterator there to protect our life total is probably the best move I could think of. He doesn't want to block this, and I know that because the Obliterator would destroy all of his things, but he does have a Stylix. We do want him to have to use that, though, so we have to take a double block here, clear the field, and then he wipes the board. And using the Stone Brain, we are getting rid of many of his late game threats in order to try to win the game in the late game. But again, the ropes and having that piece on the field right now, the Steel Seraph, is fantastic. It's going to make sure that the opponent gets life. I think he's misusing this hexproof card because he's playing it without me targeting any of his creatures. But regardless, sometimes you get drained waiting for your opponent, and I lose this second round quite easily. I do rope him out, hoping to increase his speed, though. I want him to rope out of this first game in order to try to speed him up just a little bit. The third game, however, and of course he's going to rope me into the game, was eventually taken by us. And it is a glorious thing when things just work out just fine. I have to keep this hand because those board wipes can become very important. And also the Graveyard Trespasser, I think, is actually very important as well. And if you notice, I roped him before I played the land. And the reason I did that was to try to get some speed onto the opponent. Maybe if he realizes that I'm willing to rope as well, he would actually stop doing the thing. Now, here's the thing. In best of 3, roping your opponent doesn't really work because you could see up in the upper right left-hand corner that his time is ticking away little by little. You only have 30 minutes to react to your opponent, and if you spend it all just trying to make your opponent scoop away from the game and they don't, that is when you easily lose. Even if you make all the right plays, you still lose. We go down to 4 here, but the opponent has to make very swift moves, and he seems still unwilling to do that. He knows I've sat through 30 minutes, so why does he think that I'm going to scoop at this point? At this point, he just ropes me out of the game. But alas, we do have a victory, and the deck, it went 3-0. We saw some crazy matches, though. Mono Black is still a major threat on the battlefield. Major threat. It just gets better and better as time goes on. Invoke Despair's the Obliterator, the Fleshgorger. Sheoldred didn't get too much of an opportunity to shine in this deck, though I think that it is still a threat that is ominous and is coming. Yeah, too many exile effects. I was using way too much exile to really make Sheoldred really great. But regardless, it is a threat. It kills a thing. It can flip and do more things. I really enjoy the card, and I think it's going to be a staple, especially in control builds. This is more of a tempo mid-range build, so it loses a little bit of power in a deck like this, but I still think it is very much so worth running. Gift of Completion, when it was good, it was very good. When it was bad, it was completely useless. I think a lot of the cards that we have right now, or at least that I have crafted, are really good on the sideboard only, like the Grafted Butcher. I put this guy in the sideboard. Now, I still see some potential for this, but it has to be more heavily reliant on Phyrexians in order for this to really get its bang for its buck. And that's just not what this build is. This is just standard, really good, mono black, not even control, but sort of control-y with the Invoke Despairs, Sheoldred's Edict, and the Gopher Throats. And, of course, your Duresses. I won 3. I lost 0. Take that as you will. 3-0 is pretty good, especially in best of 3, where you can't just rely on sheer luck to get through a match. You have to actually have a deck competent enough to win 2 of 3 games. And this one does. This one did it without a problem, actually. There was one time where I was kind of scared. In the last round, even though the guy was roping really heavily, he actually beat me in the second game. And then in the third game, I just decided to completely wreck his life, and he wasn't able to close the game out, but he did stick in there quite efficiently. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the content. Make sure you've liked the video and subscribed to the channel, and I will see you next time in the arena. Bye.